Hello guys, this here is the follow-up to the program that runs this HC SR04 Ultrasonic Sensor. This here is so easy to put together, but at the same time, it's very difficult to program it. I had to actually look for a lot of help on how to program this little puppy. But what it does, it's not going to make any sound. It's just going to make distance of showing numbers on the screen. Is all this thing is going to do. What it does, it's supposed to be like it can be used in obstacle avoidance, but what I don't know how to do it yet, I don't know how to use that for that yet. All I can do is show us all how to activate it. But the programming of it is a little bit tricky. And pinouts that we got here, you got your voltage on this side here on the far left. You got your ground right here on your far right. You got your trigger pin here. That's just below, just beside the 5 volt, and you got your echo pin that's just beside your ground. Okay, so you got your trigger and your echo, and then you got your voltage and you got your ground. That's where these guys all are right here. Okay, this right here. Okay, this is your voltage. This is your trigger pin, your echo pin, and your ground. Now we're going to use the same little tiny breadboard as we did before. And what we're going to do, we're just going to stick it, kind of lighten up roughly like this. Okay? And we're going to stick that in like this. Just like that. Now, here are the goodies. These wires here are the only goodies that we're going to use. They're the only goodies that we got that we're going to use. And now, we're going to use red and black for the voltage and the ground, okay? So what we're going to do is turn this around, hopefully that you can see it. Okay, we got that one in there, right? That's for the voltage. And now we're going to go putting these other pins in, and they line up so easy. All you got to do now, once you got your voltage lined up, is just go like this. Okay, they go right side by side. Just like that. They go right side by side. See that? How they go right side by side? That way, once you got your voltage pin lined up, I'm looking at the back side of it. That's why the voltage is on the left, okay? Just remember that. When I turn it around, it'll make sense. But see that? That there would be your echo pin, because we're looking from behind it, okay? And this here is going to be your ground. That there's going to be your ground, okay? This is all your ground. Now all we got to do is go like this. First we're going to plug it in, so it's easy to plug in. Now what I had done is I took the voltage rail and I put another pin right here where I can just go right along the rail again, so I can show an easier way on how to demonstrate this, how to hook this all up. Okay, so we're going to look straight at the board like that. We're going to take this guy that we just put together. You see now how it looks all right. Now we got the voltage on the left. See how you can see all that? Can you see all that? Now what we're going to do is we are going to hook this up, and I'm going to push this neatly out of the way. First we'll push the voltage in there. Turn this around. We're going to put this one here into pin 11, which is 17 if you want to use Broadcom. Okay, the Broadcom numbers, as I mentioned before, they're all along here. They're all along your little strip here if you got one of these little cobblers, okay? They're all along there. Now we're going to be hooking this wire up here again. This one just goes to pin 13. Or if you want to call it pin 27. Okay. This is 17, this is 27, it was breadboard, and that's what we got so far. Now we got the voltage. because I did the new power rail on the positive, as long as I put this on a positive, it'll go anywhere. As soon as I can jam it in the hole. There we go. Now we're gonna bake some pie, and we'll show you the screen as it comes on. See how it takes a while for the pie to boot up. The more you have in it, the longer it takes to boot up. As long as you shut down everything right, at the end of the day, your pie should be all right. Now we'll just give that a minute to go like this, and we saw the 4 pies light up. Now we're gonna go like this. And all this is, these are the only hookups you need. These are the only hookups you need. It's the programming that's tricky. It's the programming of the thing that's tricky. And I'll show you just what I mean. We're going to look at the Raspberry Pi there screen. We're going to open this. We're going to open this. And HC SR04 this here. Now, before I carry on, there's one thing I'm going to demonstrate about this numbers. If I change these numbers around here, if I change 11 into 13, 13 and 11, it won't work. But yet, if I take this and I mix the whole thing around, and then make the order come out different, it'll work. Like for example, we'll do our little sensor. Okay, just to show you. We'll back this away like this to make sure that we're in there. I want to show you something. See those numbers change? Now watch this. I'll pull away. See how they change? Whoops. Well, I guess I gotta run that again, eh? Okay, I decided to do it again. I didn't even have to run it. See that? See how the numbers change? Okay, isn't going too good for this here. But these are the numbers here that are changing. I can't show you both, I tried. But this here is like this. Now when I put my hand in front of the sensor that's underneath my little camera, see how my hand's gonna make it go away? I ain't got no one helping me hold the camera. All I'm gonna do is hope that you can see it when I go like this. Can you see that? Now this is all that does. There's nothing to it, okay? Now I'm going to show you the flaw I found in here. I'm going to show you the flaw I found in here, because this is going to be only a quick video on what this thing is, because I don't know what this obstacle avoidance sensor does. Ultrasound, it measures distance, as I showed you. And but what this does is this. If I change the numbers, we'll go 1, 3, 1, 1. If I change these numbers that says trig and an echo, nothing will happen. See that? And then I push play again, it'll just go to that screen. See how nothing happens? And now I'll show you something else that's really bizarre about this Pi. I'm using Thani for the Raspberry Pi. I'm using Thani as the idle. Now if I take this and I type in trig, and then if I take this, and they're only variables, which I think is weird. They're only variables. If I do it that way, see how it works? See that? My shift registers do the same, so I don't know if it's just the shift registers that do it, or if it's this, in the shift registers are Thani, which I'm using, which is called Thani. If you can see this, the word Thani, right up in the very right corner there. Thani right there. Left corner, that's what I mean. Left corner right here. The word Thani, you can see that? Yeah, you see that, eh? That's the editor I'm using for the Raspberry Pi. So I don't know if it's the problem with that, with what that is, but it seems to not like the variables switched around in some cases. It's really strange. But in most cases, the variables don't matter because they're just variables. They're supposed to be just variables, right? So you thought. Now, if I put trig back to where it was, just to show you, trig, and then I do the word echo, just the way I had it before, but I don't switch the bits around, it won't know it. See that? It doesn't know it. It just gives me a blank screen when I push play twice. It just goes to that. And now if I go like this, and I go 1, 3, and I go 1, 1, it'll work. See that? You got to remember that, okay? Especially if you're programming the shift registers, if you're using Thani. I don't know if any other Python editor does this, but Thani seems to do just that. You got to watch out how the program executes. All right, so it's just a good lesson to learn. But as I said, this video might be a little bit disappointingly shorter than the other video of the sensor that I was using because that one's more explanatory than this one. But at the end of this lesson, like the other one, I will have the complete schematic written down for you that you can program your HC SR04 Ultrasonic Sensor. But what you do with it from there, I'm still learning with it. So I don't even know what to do with it yet. All I know is that it can be used for obstacle avoidance. That's about it. That's all I know. But so far, at least I've got us this far on hooking this up and the complete program on how to do it. So I'm probably gonna cut this video here and take you have a last look at seeing this. Now, what you can do is, if you want though, which is hard to look with the camera, get a ruler. Get a ruler, and you can see how far away something is. But according to Paul McWhorter from TopTechBoy.com, you put you put this measured part of the barrel, like you go halfway to the barrel, right about there. You go halfway about to there. That's what you do, okay? Apparently, it's if you want to actually measure to see if how close something is in inches. Well, it's a little hard to show you that here, but you can watch his video, and if you want to watch the follow-up to his video to see how you can turn this into a hypothetical temperature readout, you can do that. You can actually take his information or mine that I made, and you can make your own little readout, okay? But this is all there is to it to hook this up. Okay, this is all there is to it, but the program is a tricky program. It's not long, it's just tricky. If you didn't know how to do what you were doing, it'd be like a needle in a haystack to find it. So this is what we look like when we're all hooked up. All right. Okay, and I tried to do as best as I could here, but at least the program's worth it, and it doesn't take too much to hook up at all. Okay. We'll just look at the little things again. Just remember, okay. This is your voltage. This is your trigger pin. This is your echo pin. This is your ground, okay? Ground, echo, trig, volt. Ground, echo, trig, volt, okay? If you just remember that. And other than that, it just pretty much plugs in by itself. It's the easiest thing to make work, but it's the hardest thing to know what you're doing if you're programming it. And you'll see what I mean when you're looking down the schematic. And if you're wondering what the word S2 is, 2E or 10E, way down here. If you're wondering what 2E is, that's just a negative number, like scientific notation. That's what this is, okay? You can either do it as .0000 or whatever you want, or this 2Z right that you got here. This 2Z right here is where you got here. Okay, you'll see it in the program anyway. I can't do the camera and hold this that good. I'm not really that good at that. But this is what we got. And that's all I'm going to say today, because I don't know what else this does other than learning how to program it. And this is what the programming of it looks like. And I got the comments there and everything, okay? Let's go back down again from the top. And then you'll see all this at the end of the video where you can actually write down the program, but I put it in Python idle on desktop so it'd be easier to read, that's all. But you can go to my GitHub page on GitHub under username Robomaster S1, and you can find all this stuff and you can quickly get it that way. Alright, so I'll say goodbye for now, and I hope this video had helped you learn how to use your HC SR04 Ultrasonic Sensor. Okay, like I said, it doesn't measure light, it doesn't activate the sound, it's distance only, like of an object. Even if the object's alive or dead, or not moving at all, alive, animated, not animated, it'll pick it up. It's a distance sensor, it'll pick it up. It's beautiful. I just want to learn how to use it now. But this takes care of that. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.